Welcome to the news on Zodiac. You're with me, Robert Karua. Let's have a look at the headlines this hour. Attorney General Thabo Chakaka Nyirenda 7 days to hot procurement process of new passport suppliers. First Lady Monica Chagwera calls for enhanced awareness on evils of cyberbullying for safer cyberspaces to women and girls. National Commission for Science and Technology banking on innovation bridge portal for innovators increased return. And in sports, 2 FCB Nyasa Big Bullets new recruits to miss out in the team's assignment against Zambia's Red Arrows. We've got these and many more. Please do stick around. Center for Democracy and Economic Development Initiative (CEDED) has given Attorney General Thabo Chakaka Nyirenda 7 days to halt procurement process of a new passport supplier and revert to the previous one. CEDED Executive Director Sylvester Namiwa says they are concerned that the government will spend not less than 69 billion kwacha to build a payroll system, hence the demand to revert to the Technobrain to save the taxpayers' money. Franklin Mtambalika has more.
According to CEDED Executive Director Sylvester Namiwa, engaging a new passport supplier will cost the country a lot of forex, which is currently in short supply. Namiwa believes that Attorney General, as a principal legal advisor, has the powers to stop the new process.
We have reached at this juncture because we have established that government is currently in the process of procuring another passport supplier, a development that will see the country paying a minimum of $40 million US. We don't have forex in this country. 1, 2, the system that was put in place by Technobrain, the infrastructure is still intact.
In a written response, Attorney General Thabo Chakaka Nyirenda said he does not handle public procurement and referred us to the Ministry of Homeland Security and the Immigration Department. On his part, Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Homeland Security, Stephen Kayuni, says there is no rolling back to Technobrain. He added the procurement process for the new passport supplier already started, and he believes that PPDA's guidance within the law will wrap up shortly.
First Lady Monica Chagwera has called for enhanced awareness on the evils of cyberbullying as one way of addressing the problem in the country. Chagwera, speaking in Lilongwe when she opened the second edition of Girls and Women in Cyber Conference, said cyberspaces need to be safe for women and girls. Dixon Chivatikondo reports.
The First Lady has bemoaned rising cases of cyberbullying, mostly directed at women in the country. Monica Chagwera said that there is a need to have the malpractice arrested immediately. She was speaking in Lilongwe on Tuesday, where she opened the second edition of Girls and Women in Cyber Conference organized by the Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, MACRA. Speaking at the event, MACRA Board Chairperson Bridget Chibwana said there is also a need to motivate more women and girls to take part in cyber security.
Internet use, whether it's social media, and how those can be addressed. The other issue that we will discuss further is strengthening the capacity of women and girls so that they take part in leadership and technical support in the field of cybersecurity.
Minister of Information Moses Kunkuyu told journalists that government will strengthen regulatory frameworks to deal with the problem.
The issue of cyber crimes is affecting everyone, not only girls and women, but then it gets rampant when the people being attacked are also having are perceived as vulnerable in some sense. The
3 days second edition of Girls and Women in Cyber Conference is being held under the theme Inspiring the Next Generation, Empowering Future Women, Cyber Security Professionals. This is John Paul Kayuni for Zodiac.
Pressure continues to mount on President Lazarus Chakwera to fire Homeland Security Minister Ken Zikalingoma over passport crisis, with the latest petition from some youths under the banner ZAGWEDEZA campaign. Chairperson for the grouping, Tawene Simwaka, says challenges in the issuance of passports and other travel documents is disturbing key sectors of development, hence the call. Dixon Chivatikondo reports.
National Chairperson for ZAGWEDEZA campaign, Tawene Simwaka, says President Chakwera need to immediately fire Homeland Security Minister Ken Zikale for failing to address passport issuance and other travel documents at the Department of Immigration. He has also called for comprehensive reforms at the department, describing the situation as a national crisis.
Our first demand is to request the President to fire Ken Zikale as a Minister of Homeland Security. And then we are also demanding for the appointment of the new Director General of the Department of Immigration. Malawians for so long they have suffered in terms of when they want to access passports at the Department of Immigration. And the Department of Immigration falls under the Ministry of Homeland Security, of which at the moment Ken Zikale is the one who is heading the department. And he has failed to provide solutions to Malawians. So we feel like there are more deficiencies that are happening at the Immigration Department. Therefore, we feel like he has failed to deliver, and we need to see a change.
Minister of Information, who is also government spokesperson Moses Kunkuyu, has described the concerns as genuine, while indicating that the hiring and firing of a cabinet minister is the prerogative of the president.
When we're making calls, we also want to consider other factors that have led to the problems. If it is human factors, then everyone owns up, and sometimes you find people making certain decisions that have been to be forced. But look at the factors that have caused this slowdown in the processing of passports. I do not think we can attribute this to an individual.
Passport crisis date back to December 2021, when Attorney General Thabo Chakaka Nyirenda cancelled a contract with previous contractor Technobrain for alleged poor handling of the contract. Dixon Chivwati Gondwe, Zodiac News, Lilongwe.
Speaker of Children's Parliament in Lilongwe has expressed concern with an ending cases of abuse perpetrated by people in authority that were supposed to protect them. The Speaker, Billy Ashan, sounded the concern when a case of a 13-year-old girl who was defiled by village headman Mulondola was raised during a sitting underway in Lilongwe East constituency. A magistrate court sentenced the traditional leader to 20 years imprisonment, but was freed by the High Court on the basis of lack of evidence. We have a report by Western Good.
The Speaker, Billy Ashani, has urged authorities to up their game on child protection to ensure that children are well protected. Ashani says this also goes to the judiciary and all legal institutions to give heavy punishments that send strong messages to stop these offences, adding that it is sad that cases of defilement continue to happen despite that time and again the children are assured of protection. Lilongwe District Commissioner Lawford Balani acknowledges that issues raised by the children are valid and authorities will act to the cause.
Because when you were looking at what was happening, the children, members of parliament, bringing real issues on the ground. The issues that I've raised are valid, they are real, and they're bringing the issues to our attention as the Communities Council. And you make sure that most of the issues that are raised, I think we should address them.
Programs Manager for World Vision, which organizes the Children's Parliament in the area, says they will continue to advocate for child rights to keep children from dangers that may disturb their education.
This was the High Court that ruled that there was a lack of evidence, and we know that in our courts we have the Supreme Court where it can be appealed. So we are working with other stakeholders to see the possibility that the government then can appeal.
The issue came out as a motion during the House's deliberations, where it was reported that village headman Mulondola of T.A. Mazingira defiled a 13-year-old girl in June last year, but was later freed by the High Court for lack of evidence after a magistrate court slapped him with a 20-year-old jail time. I'm Western Guta in Lilongwe.
You're watching the news on Zodiac with me, Robert Kalua. We'll be back with more soon after this break.
Patatisi ndi chakudya chokoma kwambiri. Mbatatesi yomwe yonse chuma kwa alimi otsogola komanso mavenda. Tsopano kwabwera mbatatesi ya mtundu wa chuma yomwe alimi akupha nayo makwacha. Chuma ndi mbatatesi yomwe imacha msanga masiku 90 okha, imayika kwambiri kupatsa alimi 40 tons pa hekta imodzi. Imapirira kung'amba ndi kuchita bwino ndi mvula yochepa. Imapiriranso kuchiwawo ndi tizilombo. Mbatatesi ya mtundu wa chuma ili ndi khungu lolimba, sisupuka ndipo imakhalisa ili bwinobwino komanso sipuka wamba. Ili ngulu la zakudya zokhutitsa ndipo imapatsa thanzi ndi mphamvu. Anthu ndi makampani opanga zakudya kuchoka ku mbatatesi monga chipisi, macrisps ndi zina akukonda kwambiri mbatatesi ya mtundu wa chuma. Pindulani thanzi ndi ndalama ndi mbatatesi ya mtundu wa chuma. Uthengawu akukupatsirani nda International Potato Center ndi thandizo lochokera ku the Embassy of Ireland kudzera ku RTC Market Project.
The full installation of what is being called Innovation Bridge Portal, which is due for launch next month. Speaking to journalists at the stakeholders validation meeting for the portal in ZOMWE, NCST research manager responsible for standards technology, Mike Kachedwa, said the platform will also enhance intellectual property protection. Let's have more from George Kalungwe.
The portal will act like an online hub where innovators will showcase their products and services and interact with potential financiers and end users of their products, according to Kachedwa.
We're working in silos, and we thought that by putting this centralized digital portal would bridge that gap. And specifically, the portal aims at
one of the innovators, John Joshua, who manufactures a power backup system called House Power Bank, welcomes the platform.
To know who is available to fund, who is not available, and what kind of funding, and we choose. And that one also help to help us learn a lot from what others are doing and what kind of innovation and how it is.
Meanwhile, Vincent Mbisa, officer responsible for resource mobilization at Nzuzu Entrepreneurs Hub, has advised NCST to provide means of ensuring that innovators in rural areas have access to the portal.
Innovation be made aware to other stakeholders. We're also looking at even innovators themselves, especially in the rural area. We hope maybe they can also partner with the existing structures, as we are aware, and most of them don't really, rural youth and rural innovators don't have access to internet.
The installation of the hub is being supported by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. For Zodiac in Lilongwe, this is George Kalungwe.
President Lazarus Chakwera has implored individuals and institutions to promote the spirit of uplifting those in need in order to build a Malawi that we can be proud of. He made the call at Kamuzu Palace when his presidential charity initiative distributed 450 million kwacha to support education of needy students in public universities and reconstruction of school infrastructure damaged by Cyclone Freddy. Kasima Obi reports.
President Lazarus Chakwera says Malawians need to promote the spirit of togetherness by uplifting those in need in order to build a nation that is good for everyone. President Chakwera said, for instance, Malawians have the power to rebuild not just structures destroyed by cyclones, but also lives and communities. On the 450 million kwacha donation, the Presidential Charity Initiative has made to 6 public universities to support education of underprivileged students in the universities and rebuilding of Mpatsa Primary School in Nsanje, destroyed by Cyclone Freddy. President Chakwera said this is a demonstration of his commitment to ensure no child is failing to attain education. Vizenge Kumwenda is chairperson of the Presidential Charity Initiative.
37 million 500,000 kwacha, up from 20 million kwacha that was given out last time. And then 225 million kwacha has been allocated for construction of school blocks and an administration block at a primary school called Mpatsa.
Jafet Kapalepale, a student at the Malawi University of Science and Technology, is one of the beneficiaries of the educational support.
For those of us who are not capable of financing ourselves, we take this as a great opportunity for us to go further with our education, because without this, some of us would have dropped out of school.
The funds were realized through a golf tournament the initiative held last year. For Zodiac in Lilongwe, this is Kasim Aubi reporting.
FTH Bank PLC says it has registered a significant milestone on Malawi Stock Exchange MAC, hitting 1 trillion market capitalization 4 years after listing on the capital market. The bank's head of marketing and communication, Levin Kunika, says FTH share price on MAC has now peaked to 150 waja. He attributed the success to heavy investment in new system technology and products to drive and improve customers and investors' experience. He explains.
It's true that FTH has registered this milestone on the Malawi Stock Exchange, hitting 1 trillion in market capitalization. This is not happening by chance, it's by design. We've been working very hard as a bank. We've invested in new systems, in new technology, in new processes to ensure that we drive and improve customer experience. And for that reason, we've seen the satisfaction levels of our customers growing, the business growing, and indeed the investors on the stock market are responding because we are posting good performance, strong performance, but also we are giving out dividends. You know, every investor. Well, as a bank, you are aware we are a leading digital bank. We are very progressive. We are ambitious. We are breaking into new market territories. Recently, we moved into Likoma. We are the only bank. New products. We introduced Islamic banking for the first time in Malawi, and we've put in a new system that is very robust. It will support us not only now, but also in future. It's making us future ready, but also not only here in Malawi, but also across the border.
And in sports, new recruits for FCB Nyasa Big Bullets, Lamek Gampani and Wongan Lungu, will not be available for the team when they turn up for the first preliminary round of the CAF Champions League against Red Arrows of Zambia this weekend at Bingu Stadium. The club chief executive officer Albert Chigoga told us that the two were signed for after they had already concluded the players' registration process, but could be available if the team progresses to the second round of the tournament. Gampani and Lungu signed 3-year contracts each at the People's Team from Premier Bet, the Dynamos and Mzuzu City Hammers respectively. And that's about what we had time for in this edition of news. Before we leave you, a recap of the headline stories. Senate gives Attorney General Thabo Chakaka Nyirenda 7 days to halt procurement process for new passport supplier. First Lady Monica Chagwera calls for enhanced awareness on evils of cyberbullying for safer cyberspaces to women and girls. National Commission for Science and Technology banking on Innovation Bridge portal for innovators increase return. And in sports, 2 FCB Nyasa Big Bullets new recruits to miss out in the new assignment against Zambia's Red Arrows. Visit zodiacmalawi.com for more. My name is Robert Kalwa. Thanks for watching.